Welcome back to yet another Payday 3 video. Yesterday night I went into Steam and discovered a newly dropped DLC for Payday 3. The DLC, Syntax Error, cost €17.99 for the Heist, Tailor Pack and Weapon Pack. Now personally I'm interested in the Weapon Pack and Heist, so let's begin by going through the weapons released in the new DLC. The Weapon Pack portion of the DLC contains 3 new weapons for 3 different ranges. Short, medium and far. The SMG War 45, which is described as a high power, low rate of fire, which is an odd option in cases of SMG weapons, if you ask me. It is however the medium range weapon. The short range weapon of the DLC pack is a shotgun called the FSA-12G and is described as a medium power, high rate of fire, semi-automatic, magazine loaded, which means that each round will not be loaded separately, but the whole mag will be inserted into the shotgun, unlike the already existing shotgun in Payday 3. The new long-range weapon is the Marksman Rifle FIK-22 TLR, and it's described as a low power, high rate of fire, and very accurate. Now, after reading the description of these weapons and based on their category, I will say that they are certainly unique in their own way, and it seems to really differentiate from the other weapons in similar categories, which I will say is kind of exciting. Lastly and most boring part of this Weapon Pack DLC part is the Weapon Charm, Whistleblower and Weapon Sticker B-Sod. Who gives a fuck, to be honest? Now, I will say that I would expect more weapons and add-ons to be added in the Weapon Pack. Getting 3 new weapons isn't enough according to me, although the DLC in my opinion is way too expensive for a few suits and 3 weapons and 1 heist. I would think that a DLC should at least add a few heists and more weapons. At least that it should be the case when you sell it for €17.99. But whatever, I'm here to try it out. So let's get into this. Let's start by me describing the weapon experience. So before I get into the weapons, I noticed a few new features with the update that came along the DLC. Now, I made a video a few days ago where I explained that new animations and such would make this game really shiny in comparison to Payday 2, which barely had any animations for interaction with doors, bags or items. New animations like boarding windows, pouring chemicals into the cook-off heist has been added, as well as animations for picking up boards laying around. This is super thumbs up from me and is exactly what Payday needs. Now get back to the weapon pack. Let's begin by taking a look at the SMG War 45. This weapon in the Steam description is described as an SMG as high power with low fire rate. I do not think this is an accurate description of this weapon. I will say it is very high powered in comparison with other SMGs, being able to blast through shields, bulletproof glass with the shield enemies as well as take down enemies significantly fast. On top of that, the weapon has great accuracy and hits sniper targets far away with reasonable accuracy as well as reliable hipfire. The ammo pickup is very generous and I never found myself running out of ammo despite being in constant firefights. Where I disagree with the Steam description is the low fire rate, as I do not find the fire rate to be very low. Bullets I think leave the gun relatively fast, however I do see how you would expect an SMG with a bit higher frequency between the bullets. So I will not completely disagree, but I will add that I do not totally accept it either. The weapon overall is a great pick. I really enjoy trying it out and feeling it. It has a great feeling and is easy to control without any issues. Zero complaints on this one. A really good choice of weapon overall. And now let's jump over to the short range option, the shotgun FSA-12G. I will be honest about this shotgun, and it didn't impress me at all, to be honest. It had decent firing rate for sure, but the damage dealt by it was not even close. It was far from good, as well as the range was severely bad, even for a shotgun. The Steam description of the gun was medium power, high fire rate, semi-auto mag loaded. Now I think all those tags fit. However, having medium power on a shotgun, in my opinion, it kind of ruins the point of having a high power weapon close range as a shotgun should be. I get it that it has a high fire rate and at the expense of the damage. However, I think the poor range in combination with the bad damage makes this weapon bad overall. I would just pick the SMG any day over this because the SMG not only manages to kill faster even up close, but has better ammo pickup, range and DPS, which is damage per second. So not a worthy weapon of the War 45. And finally, for the new arms offered in the new DLC, the long-range option Marksman Rifle FIK-22 TLR. Let me begin by saying this. What the fuck is this shit? The Steam description forgot to add that it's fucking useless. This has to be one of the worst weapons added by a DLC to any Payday game anytime ever. Let's begin by comparing it to the Steam description. It describes it as low power, high fire rate, and very accurate. No, I will say this. Low power can't even begin to describe this trash. It literally has 0 damage. As I was trying this out, I many times on instinct switched over to my secondary in order to properly defend myself, since the marksman certainly was not up for the task. It was a trash damage, bad hipfire accuracy, which is more than understandable since it's a marksman. However, I really mean when I say that the secondary pistol was better than this. The accuracy wasn't even super good. It was decent. The fire rate was semi-auto, which I think is alright since it's a marksman rifle, right? But I would not call this good because it was expensive at the expense of nothing, right? A marksman rifle, this should be a semi-automatic. So you're better off, there's no fast fire rate, just semi-auto. Besides all of that, it has trash ammo pickup, nothing with this impressed me, and you're better off with anything else. Now with all that said and done, I will add that all of these weapons were tried at their level 1 with no attachments. However, with that out of the way, let's get into the heist itself, called Syntax Error. The mission brief basically tells us that we're here to steal a software that we're later on going to sell to a buyer in contact with a butcher. So the mission is basically for us to find the correct server, steal it, and get it the fuck out of there, which is a part of stealing it, right? The mission can be completed in both stealth and loud, so let's begin with the loud variant. You start up by going inside the lobby and causing a ruckus as usual. Then your objective becomes to get to the basement door using a jammer or a hacker device of some sort. There will be 2 interruptions. One on the outside lobby by the stairs, and the second interruption will be in the upstairs hall. Once you have broken through the basement door, you will have to infiltrate the AI control room. You do this by finding a red keycard which can be found in 3 different locations in Stasha that looks like the one on screen right now. They will always be found in the basement, whereas the phone code, the QR code, if in case you want one of them, you can find them upstairs as well, like in the camera room for example. Once in the control room, your new objective becomes to shut off the AI synths, as it is called. You do this by interacting with a screen that can be found next to a glass cylinder. However, the objective in a typical Payday fashion will be interrupted once again, and you will have to disable the cooling auxiliary unit. You do this by locating the valve marked on screen. However, once you're in the typical Payday fashion, you will be interrupted again. While dealing with the interruption, you will have to locate the valve tampered with the other valve. Now, when you have located the new valve that the cops tampered with, you have to turn it and wait for the first valve to get fixed. Once that is done, you return to the AI control room and restart and shut down of the synth software, and in spectacular unpredictability of Payday, you will be interrupted once again and engage in this valve business once again. When that is done, you can officially shut down synths and begin to locate the correct servers. Now you can locate the correct server by either reading it from the computer which servers are correct, and you can just grab them and toss them into the computer, and that sorts them and eventually will pop out, and you grab the servers in one bag as well as bonus servers if you want to. Then using the C4 you found in an elevator shaft, you will blow up the wall in order to get to the outside and signal a helicopter for pickup, meanwhile killing cops so that the helicopter can land safely. You also get shot to shit by drones with heavy machine guns, then you load up the servers and escape. Now I will say this heist in loud, I will be honest, was very underwhelming. I did not find the repetition of constant interruptions very fun, nor waiting for everything. For example, 99% of this mission goes out on locating something and waiting for it to finish. Meanwhile, you're being attacked from every single direction. I mean, the variation from other heists in the game are cool, so I don't hate this. However, I would not play this loud again if I had to choose. The constant waiting around isn't what I consider fun. It would be much more fun if you had to transport something through a chaotic scenario. For example, skip all the waiting for things to finish by themselves and make it so that you have to grab the server and plan an escape route, whether via sewers, blowing up the wall, or just shooting your way back through the lobby in an exciting way. It is more fun when you're able to control the challenge and scenario. Just having to wait around and basically follow blind instructions aren't fun, which is why I prefer heists like Dirty Eyes and Golden Shark, since there I walk in and just rob the shit the way I like to do it. Whether that is by running past everyone and taking hostages and calling in Chopper whenever I feel like I'm done, or I just want to stay and sort the jewelry through and in a sorting machine adding some value to the loot. Those heists are fun. However, let's jump into the stealth variant of this heist and see if it's any better. Let me just begin by saying this. This heist was definitely meant for stealth. It was simple yet fun. Not too hard and not too easy, to be completely honest. I made it my first try. So maybe a bit too easy, but to be fair, I'm also a bit of a Payday expert. Yeah, not really, but still. Part luck, maybe. Either way, the heist was 10 times better in stealth. So how to play this stealthily? Well, I'll tell ya. Now, instead of doing it like Loud, you don't walk in and cause a ruckus immediately. This is according to me an optional step, since you don't have to walk through the metal detector apparently. I just jumped over the desk next to it. However, you're supposed to locate a key code for the basement door. I found it in a little vault in the manager's office. However, with the metal detector part, you can also find a little panel on the wall where you can shut off the metal detectors, which to me, as I said, is an optional thing. After that, unlike Loud, when you've got the code, you have typed it in and you're getting through the basement door, everything is pretty straightforward. Collect all 3 servers without getting detected by drones, guards, or civvies. Optionally, I suggest you find a cable ladder in order to help you access certain parts that are essential to find all the servers. I found the cable ladder just past the security door, requiring a QR code that you can either get as a favor or find on the first floor around the lobby or security room. Now, I will say this, there are 2 cable ladders located in the basement. I found one in the stairwell on the top floor as well. So yeah, if you maybe can't get access to all of the rooms, you may find one of those and you will eventually get all the servers. After all of that, you just sort through all the servers until you find the correct ones and then assemble them into one bag, which it does automatically. When you get them to the van by backtracking up the lobby and sneaking past the guards and making a run for the van, you can also use the vents to get to the staircase outside of the lobby and open a door where you can basically get a shorter distance to the van and more stealthily reaching it. So that's also very good. Stealth was really entertaining, to be honest. It was simple in the way that it did not require any difficult instructions. Everything was relatively straightforward and was basically just you going about it however you felt like, which is exactly what I want when I do heist. And it's kind of the aspect that Loud variant is missing, that like free do it however you want it to. Now in conclusion, is a DLC worth it? Is it well priced? And is it fun? I'll put it like this. If you already enjoy what Payday 3 has to offer and wouldn't mind getting a little extra, I would say the DLC is worth it. Is it well priced in my opinion? No, definitely not. It should be free, especially considering how they handled the launch. Paying $17.99 is way too much for this lack of content. I mean, Payday 3 sold for $35 and had 10 heists, including the legacy ones recently added and many weapons. I just paid another half Payday 3 and for 1 heist and 3 weapons. It is definitely not well priced and should be decreased, but since my money is already wasted, it is what it is. Is the Payday heist fun though? Yeah. I would definitely say that stealthing this heist was really fun. It is really good heist to add to the Payday 3 for variation and some other fun stealthing missions. However, the Loud variant wasn't fun at all, and I have already addressed that in a more detail, so I won't get into that again. So that was all for this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I am considering moving over to strictly voiceover videos like this from now on. Not just for Payday, but like games overall, making game reviews and update videos and such things that I enjoy, considering the likes and views and subscribers that I gain from just these videos in comparison to my gameplay videos, which I assume you wouldn't mind me cutting those playthrough videos off completely, since they have 2 views and my Payday update video has like 250 views. However, daily uploads will not be an option if I was to do only this, but we will have to wait and see. Anyways, thanks for watching, take care. If you enjoyed this one, leave a like. If you left a like, want to add it to your favorites. If I add it to favorites, want to subscribe, and then I will hopefully see you in the next video. Take care.